Pam Ross. I am the founder, owner, and lead trainer of Kingdom Leadership Development. We are a training and consulting organization. What is leadership fatigue? Oh my. Basically, it's when you get tired, fatigued, of course, of being the example of doing all of the stuff that leaders have to do. And that is to, and it can come in several different ways. So it can come from, I'm tired of saying the same thing over and over, because the leader is responsible for consistently reiterating the vision. And you can just kind of get tired of that. You can get tired of being the one to make decisions. You can get tired of being the one to show the way. I think leadership fatigue is 100% an intellectual exhaustion. The difference between being a little bit tired and knowing when you are entering really in the zone of leadership fatigue is when you're tired, you rest. Your body is tired. It could just be, even your brain could be a little bit tired, but you wake up the next day ready to go. When you love what you do, you know, you've heard that phrase, when you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, it really is true. You don't feel like you're working. You feel like you're being yourself in purpose, and you love it. But leadership fatigue happens because, remember, leading is about showing others the way, showing the way, going the way first. And that fatigue is, you're entering into leadership fatigue when it's more than just physical. Sleep doesn't fix it. A nap doesn't fix it. You know that you may want to look at how, not just what you're doing, but how you're doing it. Oh, yeah. Leadership fatigue can manifest itself in a lot of ways. And the first way you're probably going to feel it is you're going to be physically tired. And you're going to have a hard time shaking it. So particularly if you are the leader of a startup, you're used to not getting a lot of sleep. You're used to, I work 2 jobs. So you're used to working your day job and your dream job. You're accustomed to that. But what you'll find is like, man, I don't have the energy, not even necessarily that my body is tired. I just don't have the energy that I used to have, because energy comes out of your emotions. It comes out of the way, it's a way to describe how you feel. And so when you don't have the energy to do what used to energize you, see, the wonderful thing about working your dream is that it is like it's the fuel that keeps renewing itself. It's renewable energy. So you expend it into the thing you love, and then the thing you love gives it back to you. That's why you love it, because it gives it back to you. And eventually you'll discover, like, this ain't working. I feel like I'm giving to this thing, and I'm a little tired of looking at the thing that I used to love. If you allow leadership fatigue to go unchecked, undiagnosed, undealt with, it's not the type of thing that you can just drive through. It is an engine light. It is a low fuel light. It's not the kind of thing that you can get another 100,000 miles out of. And so if you just keep driving through it, you can find yourself being very short-tempered. And then imagine this. You dedicate so much of your life, your energy, your love, the sacrifice that you give into this dream of yours that used to energize you, and suddenly it doesn't. And so if you don't diagnose it as leadership fatigue, you'll think, have I poured so much of my life in the wrong thing? And if you don't check those thoughts will lead you to a very dark place. Like, what am I even doing? Why am I even doing this? If you don't check those thoughts and reroute them, I would even imagine they could lead you to feeling depressed, feeling inadequate, feeling like you'll never get there, wherever there is. The love is just doing what you love. But if you don't check it, it could lead you to a very dark place mentally. Do leaders suffer from a God complex? First of all, if you're going to be a visionary or a leader of anything, you got to have some level of confidence or nobody's going to follow you. So you have to have a level of confidence. You have to have a dream that you believe in, and you have to somewhere in your gut really believe that you're the person to do it. However, if you fool yourself into thinking that you don't have the same human needs as everyone else around you, that you don't need a team, that you don't need to rest. I had a colleague of mine, and I would say, like, he would work late and then talk about getting up super early because I got a 6 a.m. tea time for golf. And I'd say, man, you need to sleep. And he'd say, hey, we'll sleep when we're dead. Okay, so 2 hip replacements later. Oh, God, I hope he doesn't see this. But, like, you wear your body out. You don't get to, And so anyway, he finally said, what was I thinking? It's good to have confidence, but if your ego takes over, you will run yourself into the ground. You'll begin to sacrifice relationships. You'll sacrifice sleep and good health. Things that cannot be bought and things that cannot be easily replaced should be cherished. So your values can get skewed if you think, just no, just a little longer. I just need to do a little bit more. When the wisdom will tell you, rest, refuel, take a break, come back at it. Yeah. Hey, if you're a leader and you don't deal with your leadership fatigue, you don't take a sabbatical, you don't take a day, and some of us can't afford to take, a month or 2 of sabbatical. Some of us have to take a day, take 2 days, where you don't make any decisions. This is what recovery from leadership fatigue looks like. I'm not making any decisions. I'm not making any decisions. I'm not going first, showing first. I'm not doing any of that. But if you don't deal with it, what's going to happen is there's a deep-seated resentment that can begin to manifest. And what it feels like is, what it sounds like is to everybody else, self-pity. You people have no idea how much pressure I'm under. Well, the reason why they don't have any idea is because they're not the leader. I'm the only one who feels this way about this. The reason why is because you're the leader. You should feel that way. There is a pressure that only you should carry. There is. If you can't take it, let somebody else drive. But if you don't deal with, so you need to learn how to manage that pressure. How many, when I work out, you do so many reps and then you rest. You do so many reps and you rest. If not, you could risk injury. And what that looks like on the leadership level is, it looks like I can become irrational. And irrational means I'm making decisions that nobody understands but me. And if you haven't built the right culture, you could end up being that leader that everybody knows is crazy, but nobody won't tell you that you're crazy. They're like, yes, ma'am. Oh, that's a great idea, Pam. Is she crazy? Because you're fatigued, you're tired. I set a boundary in place. I don't make financial decisions after 9 p.m. By that time, you're fatigued, you're tired. It'll wait. Yeah. So if you don't deal with it, you could damage some people. Yeah. I think that leadership fatigue is par for the course of being a leader. You're going to encounter it. You're going to work, because here's the deal. We are always expanding our capacity. We're always becoming bigger, stronger, better than we were before. The leader has to, so that the company doesn't outgrow you, so that your organization, your team doesn't outgrow you. You have to constantly expand your boundaries, your ability. In order to do that, you've got to push yourself. So when you push yourself to the point of feeling fatigued, then you rest. You recover. And you got to know yourself enough to know, this is when I need rest. This is how I recover. And you need to have a wholesome recovery system. A wholesome recovery system that does not kill you or ruin relationships, Yeah, a wholesome recovery system. Wow, how do you know when leadership fatigue is your signal that it's time to move on? I think that when you've lost your passion for the thing that you once loved, you need to examine: have I done I believe I'm called to do in this position, in this arena? And if not, then you're going to take a break and come back to it. If you feel that you've maxed out, see that the thing that makes leaders and visionaries such great people to work with and work for is that their sense of adventure. And so if you've maxed out and you found that there's not another great adventure, it's time to innovate. It's time to reinvent yourself. It's time to discover, what else can I do? And what else can I do? And do that. Think about some of the greatest people we admire, we cheer for, we buy their music, their clothes, whatever, their products, their technology, is because they max out in one area, and rather than die, they can actually renew themselves. So I believe you can lead, you can build for as long as you want to. You don't have a shelf life that says, yeah, you're done, Pam. I think I can do this for as long as I want to, if I'm willing to be innovative, creative, willing to reinvent myself and ask those two questions. What else can I do? And then what else can I do?